Hey guys, Dreadful Coffee here. Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all doing well. I'm doing good myself. And today I kind of want to talk about Apex. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think Apex's new season's actually good. And I think a lot of people that hate on or hate train Apex's new season, I kind of just hate training it because for different reasons than the season's bad. But I'm gonna kind of break it down in this video. But first of all, let's go ahead and kind of like talk about what they added in this new season. Like, what makes the season supposedly good or bad, right? So if you guys don't know, basically they've changed support to this whole entire meta-defining character now, to where if you don't play support, you're fucked. Whether you're playing ranked, pubs, whatever, you're fucked if you don't have a support character. That's the defining trait that everybody agrees with. That you need at least a Newcastle, Lifeline, or even Gibby. Because both supports are all three supports are pretty much the most meta-breaking characters we've had ever since Apex's launch, and these are probably some of the most broken meta characters ever too. Because not only do they have insane survivability, they also have really good resing time as well with 4 seconds of res, and you can fully HP regen as well. And on top of that, Newcastle gives you basically infinite shield regeneration. Lifeline gives you a halo now, so a shield and faster heals. Gibby now has basically a bigger ultimate charge, faster shotgun run up. He can literally have Maggie's passive as a freaking perk system, as well as have auto reload on that perk system as well. It's insane. This whole season's just been nuts. And honestly, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And from my perspective, the season isn't bad. It's actually really good. I feel like it's really well made. I'll play a couple of clips of like the season, the passing in the background as well. But like, I think it generally is a good season. I think the problem that people have with this season, especially with like a tweet that was made by or like I think it was an article actually, that was made by Purely Hal and it's Timmy, was they were talking about the season being trash, and the reason why it's so bad is because Newcastle exists. Because Newcastle's thing is like literally so bad, and everyone's gonna see it as the decline of everyone leaving the game and everyone's just dipping out of the game for this season because the season's bad supposedly. Now, here's my thing. Here's my take on this opinion. I know that people's declining, right? So a lot of people are leaving Apex. Let's be honest here. But when in the hell do we not see the idea of leaving Apex as not something that wasn't going to happen? If we just add more content, right? Add more things that are supposedly so great, so good. Yeah. First of all, that was never going to happen. Apex players were going to leave. It was bound to happen eventually. The game has been up for 4 years now. Now let's get one thing straight. People come and go. It is a thing. It is a thing for a game to regularly have players decline and then come back. Decline, come back. Even for a live service game. Overwatch has done it multiple times where they've declined multiple times to realms that's even below. And I know Apex's thing is it's going down lower and lower, and it's looking scary, it's looking terrifying. But it's reached the climax or the pinpoint of basically what people consider good seasons. And now it's made this unique season that is now in the pinpoint of it's going down trend. But as well as I feel like a lot of people have hated on this game so much that hating is the only thing they can actually see instead of getting past what's good and what's bad about the season. Like if I were to sit here and ask you, what's good about the season and what's bad about the season? There were so many mixed answers. And I have plenty of like little areas where I've asked people plenty of times what makes the season good or what makes the season bad. What's your opinion? What's your take on this? What's the community's way of talking this out, right? I have asked so many people. And it seems to me like it's really just a more consistent answer of resing feels like shit. Resing feels like shit. You can't play aggressive. Playing passive and doing damage and poking them seems to be like the only answer to the problem, and that Newcastle is way too broken. I do agree with Newcastle being heavily nerfed. I just think if they nerfed his shield or his knockdown shield, it would be a little bit better. Because if you guys don't know, they also buffed Newcastle's knockdown shield, so that way it has more resistance to 3 people shooting it at the same time, which makes 0 sense at all. Because he also has a perk where you have Retrieved Wounded, where basically he could just run out into a better position with his teammate, while also able to defend his teammate, heal, or whatever. Or he can just even block bullets for freak's sakes. And it's insane. And I definitely do feel like they need to nerf Retrieve the Wounded at least just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. And then nerfing Shield needs to happen. And nerfing Ultimate needs... Like, Newcastle in general just needs to be nerfed. Now, something that is Timmy, and I want to get to this one real quick though. It's Timmy and Imperial Hal did, and what they were saying is that like they should just buff everybody because everybody's buffed and everybody's playable, which I disagree with so hard. The reason why we're in this supposedly stage season, in their point of view, right, is because they buffed characters. They buffed characters almost every freaking season. They have buffed, and shit has felt like more and more like ass. Even back in when Apex first launched out, it wasn't the fact that characters were broken at the time that made Apex fun when it first launched out. It was more less complex, and that is completely true. Because I even watch other videos where they'll say like, "Oh well, the reason why other Apex was so good was because it was so simple. It wasn't that complex, and the complexity and the strategies and the involving gameplay of Apex has changed, and it generally has. If you compare Launch Royale, right, which basically is the first day of Apex, compare what we have now, it's a completely different game. And if we change the metaverse basically of the game, like, let's say we buff Bangalore to Kingdom Come, then nobody can see crap. If they watch AGLS, nobody's going to be able to see crap. Everybody's going to play one character. And if you want my honest opinion about LGS, I think LGS in general, I don't really think they know their Legends well, to be honest, because they just play Bangalore majority of the time, which Bangalore was great for carrying off controller players. But I also feel like it's kind of stupid. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you need one character to do that when you could just play Caustic as a simple solution as well, which Caustic is a completely solution to it as well, which again is smokes. It also provides a lot more than just smokes. I don't know. There's a lot I can talk about, and there's a lot I can take into this. And I know I'm going all the way around the directions, but my thing is Apex season. This season, I want to just get in this. This season's actually enjoyable. I've had a lot of fun playing the season. Whether it be resetting and running away and just able to respawn, I generally don't find the season that stressful. The only thing I will ever say that's stressful about this season, in ranked personally, and I've hit Diamond and ranked, is that it's just the fucking party element. Like, I will get third party so many times now, it's unfucking canny. It's unreal. Like, I shoot one bullet, and it's like calling a whole entire tribe. The Indians just start coming and running at me with, like, 5 other squads right in my area. And if you get to Final Zone, it's a lot of fun to play in Final Zones. I actually generally like Final Zones. They're fun. And I enjoy, like, kind of just having that res element, too. If I need to, I can back off, res my teammates, and craft them. The thing I don't like, and this is something I'm going to say this right now, is that so many Predators and so many higher elos, right? This is what they do. They go outside the zone and camp. And the reason why they're doing this is because they have support, which basically support denies the idea of taking enough damage to actually not be out of zone. So zone sickness not being a thing anymore, which I think they got rid of it. I don't know for a fact. I haven't seen it once in a long while. Which is the most dumbest thing, by the way, was get rid of zone sickness. This was something that was really fucking stupid to get removed. When zone sickness was added in the first place, people can't camp out of zone, and it definitely was annoying to have, especially if you're caught in a bad rotation. But with survival kits being in the game, zone sickness was fine to have, and it was actually good to have zone sickness. It was a way to counteract people ratting out in zone. And I think they should re-add it, because honestly, at this point, dude, it's just so annoying. Because you can have a Pred that's running away from zone, and he'll stay out of second zone. He'll stay out for first zone, too. He literally will never get punished, and it's annoying. I feel like players that are out of zone should be punished. They shouldn't be getting survival kit. Okay, so you get a balloon, you're gonna balloon away, then you're gonna fight another squad, balloon away, and just keep getting kill after kill after kill after kill after kill. But because, of course, not every squad's able to track you now because you're just ballooning away, it kind of just beats the purpose of zone in general. Because now you also get ahead of the fucking whole entire teams because of zone. Because you have a balloon. Or if you have a heat shield, you just sit there and tank zone. Because nobody's going to go chase you in zone because they have a huge benefit or de-benefit from being in zone because of the flinching. And I think, like, for this season particularly, I think they just need to fix those areas. And honestly, the season would have been perfect. Like, imagine if they got rid of those survival kits. Like, literally, if they got rid of survival kits, I think the season would be almost perfect. Because then respawning, even though it wouldn't be as bad, right? Because now you basically don't have the survival kit for the respawn. But you have to, you can craft banners at least, and then you can go to a respawn beacon and actually just do natural generation respawns. And it will control the respawn amounts. and not make it so that way you're getting third party. Okay, well, if we're getting third party, I'm gonna have one survive, run for a crafter, he crafts us, boom, we're back in the game. We have full kits, by the way, we have our purples, we have our perks, and everything back. And it solves a lot of the problems. Instead of taking the route of basically, hey, just buff everybody. Just buff everybody, because then at least everybody's playable and everybody's bad and good. Which is not even close to true, first of all. A lot of characters are playable in higher rank or lower rank. It's just the more preference of what is harder to play and what's easier to play, right?
Right in front of me. That's Bamboozle.
That's my thing.
You get on the building top?
I think a lot of the characters are playable. Wraith is one of the characters I would say is unplayable because of the 45-second nerf, where they overtune nerfs. But overtuning buffs is not better than overtuning a nerf. Because overtuning a nerf, at least you can find a way to make it playable. Like with Wraith, right, you still have your phase, so you're fine. You can still use phase just correctly. Phase is not that bad. Phase is still good. It's just your ultimate's now kind of useless. There's no real point playing Wraith. Unless you're going to use your ultimate to be more aggressive and more agile than you are going to use it for being more position-oriented or trying to get your team into one area or one spot. Which is completely fine. And do I think Apex is a legend battle scene is any good? No, I think it's actually terrible. And everyone out there, I'm sure, can agree with it. It is terrible. Because why overtune Newcastle in the first place when it should be in the season about Lifeline? But, anyways, I'm just saying is if we try to like sit here and overtune everybody, right? It's gonna cause more problems. That's just honest truth. And I've been right before in the past when I said, literally, if the game makes this game about placement, it's gonna kill the game. And I was right, and it has killed the game. If the game literally orientated around placement, it was gonna kill the game. And I was 100% fucking right. Because it felt more shitty. A lot more competitive players felt like shit. And I don't care about the people who say, oh, well, I'm a hardcore competitive player for Apex, and I support the whole shit. Shit shouldn't be easy. Shit should be super hard and difficult. There's a difference between things being LGLS level rated, right? And just rank being ranked. If you want, like, fucking pro tournament AGLS ranked, then at least make a separate game mode for that, like Premier or something like that would be cooler. Because then that'll make sense. Because Valorant has Premier, which is a completely different game mode entirely, but the competitiveness is on another scale entirely. And that's what they should do. If they want something like that, then they can make a ranked system that is like that. And that's what they're doing with Rumble. That's why we have that. That is what, for the players that want that, can do. They can play that game mode. But stop trying to push rank into that game mode, because a lot of general casual rank players want to not play that. Or competitive rank players don't want to play that sweaty. It makes no sense. None. I know rank's meant to be hard, but there's no reason it has to be stupidly hard, where you basically are suffering because you have to play placement only. You can't even go for kills, because kills only give you like 2 points or 20 points per a kill. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like 5 points for a kill, it does not make sense at all. Especially if you're killing a predator or somebody who's higher rank by an onslaught. It makes no sense. I've also had games where basically we play against predators and diamonds, or even masters, right? When I'm platinum or even gold, for frick's sakes. And the reason why that's happening is only because of the player division. But when people say there's MMR in this game, I call bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on the MMR stuff. Because as well as like, as much as I like the season, I'm gonna call the defaults out.
Right there.
There is no MMR in this season. At least it doesn't feel like it, because a lot of the times you go into a match and ranked, right? It's just RNG. You get a predator sometimes you won't get a predator, sometimes you'll get like a master, sometimes you'll get like gold. It's a whole mixed bag of chips, right? And every time you take a chip, it's just ridiculous. And even in the predators, they feel like half the time they're cheating. So I watched a predator literally last night, not even. And I think it was like number 500 or something like that. And he was playing Loba. And that's not what the weird part was. As soon as I died and started spectating him, he took off the AR and started using his shotgun the whole entire time. And the rest of the match, he used a shotgun. Even at far ranges, he was using a shotgun. Which makes 0 sense for a predator to be doing, right? Unless they're cheating, because they're trying not to get caught. And I even caught him for a split second where he basically had no recoil at all.
Yeah. I'm just ulting get ammo.
So that's one of the things as well, is like where people are like, well, there's not that many cheaters in the game right now. I'm like, well, how come is there a predator that's literally cheating right now that I'm watching? And I've watched a couple other predators that are supposedly cheating, or I look like they're cheating at least. But that's just my suspicions. I mean, I haven't played the game in a while, so I could be completely wrong. I don't even know what cheats are.
I'm slow.
But at least it's not as bad as rage cheating, right? Which is absolutely true. I can get behind that. But
My fighter pushing me.
this
My
season
fighter
in
down.
general, it's not even that bad. I think the
Coming
season's
out,
good.
trying to get a
I
Pathfinder.
generally think it's fun.
Both league, both league.
And
Focus the guy,
I
focus
can't
the guy
explain
here.
why
Focus
it's
the guy,
fun,
focus the res,
honestly.
focus the res.
Whether it's the frustration of not dying as often and be able to actually be revived and your teammates actually working together and wanting to play the game feels nice. Or whether it's ranking up feels better, because especially Plat was really frustrating to be stuck on. Because in Plat, people would just play like idiots. Like seriously. Diamond now is like Plat 2.0. Like, if I had to declare what Diamond rank felt like, it felt like Plat. It felt like the old Plat. It was so bad. And it wasn't even because like your randoms were bad or anything like that. It's just people don't understand how to play the game. It's just a simple truth. And I still feel like a story holds true to this day. Because the thing about Apex, and this is my thing, people just learn movement. Nobody likes to aim. Not a single player.
Yeah.
I want you to point out players that are actually aim-based entirely and focus on aim only and has no movement. And how many of them hit Masters? Like, it's bare minimum, right? Or I'll be like a good amount. But there's so many players out there I can call out that don't care about aim. They just care about whether or not they can do all this cool-ass movement. And they look sick at doing it. And then they get all the kills just because they did some type of movement trick. Which realistically, in gameplay-wise, if you actually have good aim, that movement doesn't matter. You just get stunned for it. You can still get stunned. But, I don't know. That's some like personal takes on my part. But regardless, I just think the season's fun. I don't even find it really that frustrating. I play with friends. I play with Don multiple times on stream. And we just had a good time. There's nothing really frustrating about this season at all. And even though like the whole entire Apex spam, everyone's spamming one thing to the next to another, or Newcastle ult being really frustrating, I don't find that much frustration in this season at all. It is because I just stopped caring at some point about Apex, and I don't want to play Valorant, and Valorant's like PSTD is getting into me, and I'm just like, no more of the horror, the memories. But honestly, I don't understand the hate for this season. I think honestly what's going on with Apex currently at the moment isn't the fan base or the season's bad. I think people just can't stop hating the game. It's like a drug or addiction or your ex-wife that you just can't stop loving. You just have to have her. You need her. You want her. Give me her back. Give me the cigars. The cigarettes, please. And that's what it feels like. It feels like the hate train has started to a point where Apex can't stop it. No matter how much more content they add, the hate train's gonna go and start crashing down. And the market's just gonna be that way. And even though we have some good things like the heirloom shards being double heirloom shards, but hey, it's RNG, but it's double heirloom shards. You get buy one, get one free. There has to be some type of takeaway from it, which is fine. I think that's a good deal. And a lot of people can say they hate it or love it, but like, those are some things that like I feel like people either just they hate on it because they hate on it. Because like it's easier to hate on Apex than it is to love it. And I feel like the same with the pros. It's like they just hate on the game because they like hating on it at this point, you know? And I'm sure a lot of people would want to sit there and be like, well, no, that's wrong. Everyone wants to love the game. There's plenty of people who are passionate about the game. And honestly, I don't think so. Because then why would they suggest over buffing everything, which, again, makes it feel like shit, but at least everybody's playable. Unless the pros are trying to play the characters they want in Pro Scene, but not in Ranked League, which in Ranked League, it's perfectly fine. In Ranked League, they're not 3-stacking, pubbing, or anything like that, or anything crazy. But yet you're saying that it's not playable to play these characters in Ranked League at all. Is that what you're declaring? Or if you're saying this just because you want your pubs to be easier and pro play to be a lot easier and more valuable because you don't understand how to play the character because you don't want to learn how to play a new character and you're more stubborn to it. Because again, they're playing to win. That's their whole entire thing. If they're playing character for fun, it's a complete different story. But they want to play the characters that way they can play to win. My thing is like, no matter how you design a character, even Mirage for that fact, right? You can't just design characters to be so good that they fit in both leagues. That's not how that works. I know in a perfect dream world it is, but I promise you that's not gonna work. It's always gonna be, someone's gonna be better, someone's gonna be good, someone's always gonna have the downfall and have the short end of the stick. That's how it always has been, it's always gonna be like that, no matter what game you play. You can go Overwatch, it will have the same mechanics. Valorant, same mechanics. No matter how many times you buff, nerf a character, there just are going to be characters that aren't good. And that's okay. Some characters are meant for ranked. Some characters are meant for pro. That's okay.
I'm gonna be better than fish. I'm gonna smell like fish.
But the obsession between having both leagues have the same caliber is never gonna be a thing. Never. But in all honesty, I just enjoy the season. If you're curious about playing Apex and you want to play it, just go play it. Try it. Don't tell other people how to enjoy your season. Try it with your friend. And this is something I'm suggesting entirely. Try it. And if you don't like it, then don't play it. If you do like it, then keep playing it. Just try it. I've not had much frustration this season. And even on stream, I've just enjoyed it in general. I hate the third party. Don't get me wrong. Third party is really annoying. But, like, it's not that bad. Especially since you can actually play supports as a completely resettable characters. And I've even managed to play Alter now. I'm learning to play Alter. And Alter is supposed to be this F-tier character. She's supposed to be trash. But then how the fuck am I out-maneuvering diamonds and plats as Alter? Because the things that people say aren't always true. And I think the tier list and everything and everyone's addiction between who's good, who's bad, who's the best of the best is completely false. I think there's a lot of more balancing than what we originally thought when the season came out. Now I'll make a tier list and I'll kind of shine in a little bit and tell you guys my thoughts on it. But anyways, this is kind of like more of a rant video, I guess. I just want to make something real quick and bother work on the other stuff later, so. I don't know. I'm just saying, try the new season out. Give it a chance. Please, for my insanity and yours. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys around. Peace out, guys. Bye.